Us now, House Financial Services Committee member, Congressman Roger Williams of Texas. Congressman, yeah, you really stuck it to us in those blue states, in these high-tax states, but you still got the votes.
Well, it's an exciting time, Dagan, to be in Congress, and myself being a business person, I see this thing two ways. Politically, I see it, but also what it's really going to do to Main Street. I employ several hundred people back home in Texas, and everybody's excited on what it's going to do. It's going to put more money in the hands of the people, which it should, and we're a consumption-driven nation. We need to consume.
But what about the treatment of the pass-through entities? There are a number of stumbling blocks, if you will, and not to look at the negative, but again, the deduction is 20%. It takes the top rate for pass-through entities down to 29.6%. However, there are a lot of guardrails, income limitations on services businesses who would be allowed to take that. Plus, those tax rates do expire along with the individual tax cuts in 2025. Will that be enough to really help small businesses in this country?
Well, I think it will. I'm one of those pass-throughs that you're speaking of. And look, this bill is not perfect, but it does lower the rates, which converts to more money in the hands of businesses and the hands of the consumer. So, and at the end of the expiration date, I hope that people have, and I know they will have seen a better financial situation, and that the Congress at that time will go ahead and renew those. But it's going to be really good, and look at the pass-throughs. It's better than what we had, and it's also going to give an option for people to, again, take risk and get reward in this country.
Heather?
Senator, Americans disapprove of the tax reform plan by 2 to 1. How do Republicans improve the messaging on this bill?
Well, I think that we always could be better messengers, but I think the best message is going to be when they get their checks February, when withholding is going to be less. They're going to see they have more money, and it's not going to be Republicans, Democrats. It's going to be the American people and those in the middle income bracket. So that's going to be the best thing we have to show for what this is going to do. And I think it'll be really hard for the Democrats to run on tax reform helping a certain group when everybody's getting more money in their pocket.
Senator, it's Lindsey Bell here. Does the fact that this bill does raise the deficit, $450 billion by some estimates around there, concern you at all? Or do you think that the economy will, in fact, be able to pay for this more than some of these surveys that have come up with these numbers suggest?
Well, I'm concerned about the debt. I've always said that. I think it's one of the biggest problems we got in our country. But I also believe in economic growth. Being a small business owner for 47 years, I know the power of Main Street. And so when you talk about how it's going to take us further in debt, that's if we don't have any growth. We're going to have growth, and growth will take care of a lot of that. And, of course, as I say up here, the other pay for is massive cuts up here in the federal government. Until we begin to do that, we're not going to really see some of the things we need to have happen as far as the debt is concerned. But economic growth is going to be, I think, greater than most people realize.
Well, Michael, I can't figure out what the Democrats are upset about, because they're talking about, well, this adds to the debt and you're cutting taxes on the backs of millennials, but then they're worried about the tax cuts expiring in 2025 for individuals. So if they really gave a flying flip, why didn't they get on board and work with Republicans to really make America prosperous and grow again? That's what I don't understand. But again, the entire narrative from the Democrats in the last 8 years is we fix income inequality by hiking taxes on the rich. And then, but then they did raise taxes on the wealthy. They let the Bush tax cuts expire under the Obama administration, and the economy still didn't grow at 3%.
So that's the message, Congressman. What do you make of the fact you're not getting one Democratic vote in neither the Senate or the House? What were their ideas? What was their alternative to this tax cut plan?
Well, I think it's a shame we're not getting their votes. I don't know what their alternative is. In the past, it's been to raise taxes. That has not worked. And I think the fact that if you're going to give people their money back instead of giving the federal government is a pretty good argument. So it's disappointing that they have made this politically. I mean, whenever you have no votes for something, that's a political vote. We need to make a vote that's good for our country. And when you have the highest tax rates in the world, which is what we have right now, you've got to do something about it. We're going to get jobs over here we lost, and jobs we didn't have are going to come here. That's a pretty good formula, and let the American people work. The greatest asset we have is Americans and small business.
Right. I'll just point out that President Obama wanted to cut corporate taxes. He proposed it not once, but at least twice, and you still couldn't get Democrats on board with any of this tax reform package. Congressman, well, let's move on to the government shutdown. That's where we're headed this Friday unless a funding bill is approved. Can you and your colleagues cut a deal in the next few days to prevent a shutdown come Friday night?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, I represent Fort Hood in Texas, and I'll be voting for the CR. I don't like to vote for CRs, but in this particular case, we've got to take care of our military, pay raise, more weaponry, more improvements to the bases and so forth. So I think that we will get it done, and we should. But then we got to get to a situation where we get on a budget, stay with it. And of course, I'm one of those that'd like to see a balanced budget amendment sometime that would allow us to balance the books of this country.
Congressman, great to see you. Thank you so much, Congressman
Okay.
Roger Williams.
Merry Christmas.
You take care.